Hey, everybody. Welcome to another JoJo Crypto Live. We are recording this version of JoJo Crypto Live, so we're not actually live. I'm your host, Joe Crypto, and today we're going to be talking to the captain himself from Battlestar NFT. I have their Twitter pulled up so you guys can see it, but I am so excited to have Mr. Captain here to talk about the project, and he's joining us via Zoom. And so, dude, welcome. Thanks, Captain, for joining us.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. Happy to be here and spread the word about the Federation arriving very soon.
Hey, listen, Federation, you're recruiting right now, from what I hear.
We are. So the Federation, is this galactic organization, right? It runs this galaxy. It's a very capitalistic society, and captains within the Federation, end up making millions and riches as they kind of pillage the universe. So the Federation's arriving for the new, onboarding process for new captains. It happens every once in a while. They'll do tours around the galaxy. So they're coming from Alpha Centauri. They're going to be here soon, and this is all the backstory to the game.
No, this is great. I love it.
I think it's funny because it's almost like an evil corporation that is like rolling the galaxy. It only cares about money, but they're recruiting.
We could be, it could be the dark side in Star Wars too, right? Like, hey, we're recruiting, and where did stormtroopers come from? Well, they had to join the Federation at some point. So this is, dude, I'm so excited. Guys, if you didn't realize, this is his website. I think you can hear that, Captain, right? You can hear that music.
Yeah.
So that's one of the main things that was drawn to me immediately about your project, was that it has this cool music. It also has this cool look, right? And I actually have connected my MetaMask wallet. So I'm trying to be a captain myself. So I'm super excited. But what I was hoping you could go over a little bit, and I'll pause the music, or I'll just turn it down, actually. Let's just do that. What I was hoping you could explain is, yeah, you gave us the backstory, and it's this kind of like thought process on like part of the NFT space is creating these games and having a backstory that people can connect with. Where did you come up with this idea, and why specifically the Battlestar NFT things?
Well, that's a good question. Actually, the idea came to me randomly. Wolf Game came out, and Wizards and Dragons came out recently, and I played both of those games myself. I wouldn't call them a game, by the way, but
sure. They're not really.
They're not, right?
No.
You're just staking an NFT, and so I've been in the NFT space since the very beginning. I've done a lot of stuff for the NFT space, and when I saw and played Wolf Game and Wizards and Dragons, I was kind of disappointed. Granted, I knew why it was done the way it was done. And it's not easy to do, what we're trying to do here with Battlestar. What we've done is we built an actual game with multiplayer aspects to it. You'll mint a battleship, and then you will battle other captains. The winner of the battle gets credits, which is an ERC-20, and it's a multiplayer battle. Now, it is text-based, right? You can see the data pad kind of look to the game. It is like that old retro kind of text-based. But when you do your multiplayer battle, your ship could be destroyed, or you might earn credits. There's other functionality such as crafting and raiding. So you'll go raid a planet to get resources. And then, if you click on like crafting or raid planets, you can see like, you'll raid a planet with your ship, you'll get resources, you use those resources to craft. And then once you craft these items, they're new NFTs.
Does it cost money to collect those resources, like actual US dollars or Ethereum?
No, because we're on one of the things with why games are not really games on the blockchain is because of gas fees.
Yeah.
So we're on Immutable X, which is a layer 2 on top of Ethereum. So yes, all these items are on Immutable X, but because it's on top of Ethereum, you can just withdraw it to Ethereum. So there's no gas fees. So when you go onto the site, you actually initialize your wallet. You've initialized your wallet on Immutable X already. And yes, so you're good to go. And so once if you were to mint a ship right now, you'll see it in here. You can see it on any marketplace that supports Immutable X. But then maybe you're like, okay, well, you know what? I just want to sell this on OpenSea. So then you can withdraw it. You'll pay a gas fee to withdraw it, and then you can sell it wherever you want. Now, there's marketplaces that you don't have to do that, right? So you don't have to pay any gas fees.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if you want to play this game, you go in, you buy your first ship. Let's say you mint it. Maybe you mint 25 ships or whatever. You'll pay a gas fee one time to do that. You can play the game. You can battle, raid, craft, do all that. No gas fees. And then if you want to say you made 1 million credits and you want to go sell those on Uniswap, you can withdraw those for it's a one-time gas fee. You pay that to withdraw. And so what we've actually built is a bridge between a layer 2 Immutable X and Ethereum.
Wow.
Which is not easy. It's quite complicated.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty impressive thing, especially for a game, right?
Well, I mean, no, this is how a game should operate. If you're going to be a blockchain game, this is what you should do. This is what, this is required. This is what Axie does.
Yeah.
Axie has their own, essentially side chain, which is called the Ronin chain. And they had to build a bridge for that. So it's the same with us. Is the thing is because my background and experience, making what we built here is actually not that hard. I came up with it in about an hour. I outlined the structure of how I would design and architecture the system for the bridge, the tokens, the NFTs, the battles, all that, in about an hour. And then I've been working on it for about the last month.
You said again. The last what?
Sorry, what?
You said
last month.
The last month.
Last month.
Great.
Yeah.
So when did you announce? When did you start asking people to follow you on Discord and Twitter?
About a few days after that hour-long kind of session, I started working on it. I mean, so I had the idea. I went home, spent about 7 hours that day coding the first iteration on the website. And then I think like 2 days later, I put that up and started sharing it around with people. Here's the thing. We're not trying to show traditional NFT stuff. Like if you go look at like a PFP project, they'll tell you about their roadmap and they'll tell you about all this stuff. And look, we're not doing that because we don't need to do that, because what speaks for us is the game, the product.
Yes.
And so when we go live, we're not asking people to do things now. We're not going to be asking you to do advanced stuff later. You can go play the game when it goes live. If you like it, you play it a lot, you make a lot of money. And if you don't like it, then you don't play it.
Here's the deal, Cap. Here's the deal. So I got into a Wolfgang clone and I didn't get far enough fast enough, so I lost money. Right? Mm-hmm. So I ended up not minting enough NFTs to collect the token. And therefore I was behind the whole time. And in the end, I lost out because the liquidity, everybody dumped out because they didn't see a future. And this is my naivety here, right?
Yeah. So, and let me tell you how we address that. With Wolfgame, there's one thing that you do. And for that clone, it's probably the same, which is you deposit that NFT and you come back a few days later and claim some tokens. So there's not much for you to do there. And when you get your tokens or you see that other people are dumping, you dump, right? And so those don't really last. With us, you can see like raiding, if you raid a planet, you're doing that for a purpose. First off, there's a 15-minute cooldown. So you can raid a planet and then you have to wait 15 minutes for your ship if your ship survives.
Is it instant, the raiding?
I mean, yeah, you'll sign a message.
Sure.
You'll calculate if you win or if the planet wins or whatnot. And then it'll let you know, but it's pretty much insane. And then you wait 15 minutes for your cooldown. But the point is some people maybe they minted some ships and they got really lucky and they got like the rarest ship, it's the most powerful ship. They're going to battle a lot of people because they could earn a lot of credits.
Yeah.
Maybe you only got one ship and it's a weak ship. Yeah. So instead what you do is you craft new parts and augments for battleships by raiding planets and crafting. So you don't actually ever battle anyone in multiplayer, but instead you're making these new NFTs that you can sell.
That's
right?
dope.
Because every time you craft something, it's a new NFT. So if you look here, like this autocannon, it's a common weapon system. You can craft a new weapon system, but it might be a extremely powerful autocannon. So maybe like a level 5 weapon system versus a level 1.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if you have a level 5 NFT that you've just crafted for free, well, that's free money. You can go sell it to someone else who uses it on their ship to battle. Because if you're battling, you're going to get more credits. So a lot of people, yeah.
No, keep going. No, keep going. Sorry. I got so many
Well,
questions, but keep going.
a lot of people are going to be battling, and then there's going to be a lot of people supporting the battlers by making augments and crafting new upgrades. And so that's two kind of professions within the game style. But then there's a third, which is an economical kind of style of playing, which is if you battle and your ship gets destroyed, you have to pay credits to repair your ship. And then your ship will lose 10% of its power when it's repaired, right? Kind of like your car's never the same after you total it. So maybe instead of doing all the battling and stuff, you find ships that are destroyed for sale, and you buy them for cheap, like a salvage junkyard. And then you either have credits or you do something with those ships to repair them, and then you can flip them for a profit.
Wow.
Right? So there's a lot of different angles here of what you can actually do in terms of gameplay, or why you would come back to the site, or continually play the game.
Yeah.
And then the use case of the token means that even if people dump, you need the token for so many things. You need the token to repair your ship. If you need the token to mint the ships, if we sell out of the first mint, right? Once you do the ETH minting, then you have to pay with tokens to mint.
Yes.
You'll need tokens for crafting upgrades.
Yes.
So you'll be able to say, like, give me 5 iron, 5 gold, and then 5 credits or whatever to make the lowest tier update or upgrade. And then as time goes on, we're going to expand, the game actual functionality. So right now you have multiplayer battling, you'll have the crafting and raiding, but then we want to come out with an ability to travel between these different points and kind of have large scale raids where maybe 25 ships will be defending a planet, and then 50 ships will attack the planet, right?
Yeah.
And so you can see here, this is basically, we've just put dummy data just to kind of show you what it would look like, right?
No, I love it.
I don't know. And so it takes a little bit to load because we're still, what we've got here is about 2 or 3 weeks old. So the code that we have now is a little bit improved.
No, I got it. Yep. Well,
also a little laggy too, because the graphics that we do, and so we've optimized that as well. So when we go live, things will be a little bit smoother.
Sure. I'm just impressed with the thought process on putting it together. Being somebody who's pretty new in the space, I'm really drawn to I know NFTs aren't the thing, like but I'm really drawn to the ships. I think they're cool. I think you did a really good job with that. But understanding the game mechanics is a lot easier than some of those other Wolf Game or copies of Wolf Game. I think this is a little bit more. I mean, you just were able to explain it in a couple of minutes here with me. The future of what it's going to be. What does success look like to you? What makes this a success? This project.
I'll tell you, and this is the most powerful thing about NFTs and like the metaverse, right? Which is what makes this a success is when, instead of a Wolf Game clone or a Battlestar clone, because I don't think someone's going to be able to clone this like they could clone Wolf Game, because there's a lot of infrastructure that we have to run on our backend, like for the bridge and stuff, right? So it's not easy to clone, but what it is easy to do is to make a new variation or a new game off of the same assets. So you said you like the ships. I love the ships. I think the ships are fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude,
Our
me
artists too. They've done it. This ship right here, this is like an uncommon ship. And when you mix this, once you start randomizing everything, this is the complete ship, right? This is there's only a 1 out of 10 million possibility chance of you getting this ship like it is right now. And so when you mix this with the other ships, it gets crazy, because like there's such a different design styles, but they just work so well. But anyways, I think the ships are really cool, and we've got like the legendary, the top ship is a crystal ship. But so there's going to be planets that we're coming out with as well. And so what you'll have is you'll have ships and you'll have planets, and planets give you resources that you own. And so the next about 2 weeks after we start minting, we're going to release planets. And planets, you'll mint the planets, and then you own the planet, and you can raid whatever planets that you own, and only you can raid them. So you
Wow.
might get a planet that has, maybe 100% gold, and so if you raid it, you get a ton of gold,
Yeah.
right? And so maybe someone says, well, look, I've got coaxium, I've got quantanium, but I don't have a gold planet. So they're going to buy your gold planet because it's the only one that's got 100% gold,
Dude, that's
right?
cool. Is there
So
a
it's kind of
mix
like a
too
real
of
estate.
planets? Like there's different percentages
Yeah,
of yeah.
yeah, there'll be 10,000 planets procedurally kind of generated in terms of resources. But what looks like a success is when those planets are in World Wide Web, or those planets are in Decentraland, and your ship can be used in other games in some way. Like, imagine any kind of space game like EVE Online or something like that. If I can come in and connect my wallet and be able to use my ship within that game, these are things that one, are easy to do, especially being blockchain assets and a blockchain item. But two, that's what success looks like for me. And so like our community, we've got about 5,000 people so far. And once we go live, I suspect that we'll probably get around 50,000 people. And I wonder how many days to weeks it's going to take for someone to be able to go through and say, we made our first, spin-off of the game,
Yeah.
using the same assets. And
Yeah.
this is really what excites me.
Yeah. The 14th, you're about a little over a week away here.
Right. We may extend this. Just all, it depends on a few things. It depends on
Sure.
gas prices. It depends on our community. We obviously want to do a lot of marketing around this so that it's a big, everyone knows about it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we're not one of those projects that, we're not going to go get some boxer to go do a sponsorship or something and say, it's not one of those bullshit projects, right? We're actually delivering something. So we're kind of letting the product speak for itself.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. It caught my attention pretty heavily. I'm super pumped for you. I'm part of the community now. I'm following. I'm really interested in getting this and playing and understanding. It's hard for me as someone who's new to understand how I can earn tokens. I didn't play to earn games growing up, right? Like I never played online computer games for play to earn. So it's a hurdle for me. And so I feel like this makes it a little bit easier than what has been out there. And it also the gas fees, man, right? Like they crush you. They crush you if you're new. You don't understand
Right.
until
And
you're in it.
when you were playing Wolf Game and Wizard Dragon, those spinoffs, you maybe were able to claim $100 of tokens, and it would
Yeah.
cost you $50 in gas fees. And
Yeah.
when I played it, that's literally what I would calculate. So I'd say, okay, how much does the gas cost? What can I sell the tokens for? And plus the gas cost to sell the tokens, right?
Yeah.
So
So not only are you paying gas to claim them off of your NFT or off of the website, but then you're paying gas fees to transfer them from the website or the NFT or the game into your wallet
right.
as ETH. So yeah, it's just
And one of the things is we've done pretty much no marketing for this game, but we have over 1,000 people that have initialized their wallet on the platform.
Yeah.
So they've connected, like what you did,
Yeah.
connected their wallet, basically made their account. But the thing is every person that's done that has onboarded to Immutable X Layer 2. Have you ever used Polygon?
Yeah. I use Polygon.
Okay. So the process to get onto Polygon the very first time was a process, right?
Yeah, it
was.
is.
You remember the steps. Do you remember when you got into Immutable X with Battlestar? Like, do you remember what the steps were?
Yeah, it was so simple.
Yeah, right. It's just a little pop-up, you sign a message, you're good to go, right? And that's why we've had 1,000 people, they paid no money to do it. They didn't realize what they were really doing.
No,
now
I
they're
didn't
on a
realize
layer 2. Exactly. And so that's why we chose Immutable X over something like Polygon.
Can you explain really quickly for people who don't understand the difference, why layer 2 and layer 1 is so different? And I mean, that's a big question, but see if you can do it.
Layer 1, you pay for every transaction. It's like a bank fee when you transfer your money from your bank, right? They charge the shit out of you, and it's based off of the number of people that are using the network. So if there's a lot of people, you have to pay a lot of money because there's so much traffic. A layer 2 is a separate network that is connected to the main network in some way. So in the example of Polygon, there is this bridge where you can put stuff onto Polygon and you can take stuff back off of Polygon back to Ethereum. but it costs gas to do that, right? Immutable X is another layer 2. It's a different design than what Polygon is. It uses something called ZK rollups, which is zero knowledge proof. It's math. It uses math, really complicated math.
Yeah.
So that you don't ever actually leave Ethereum, right? And so this is on a layer 2. All these collections are on a layer 2.
Yeah.
And what that means is like they're not on OpenSea because they're on a layer 2 that, and OpenSea doesn't support a layer 2. Now there's other platforms like, you know, Mintable, and then obviously their own platform here, Immutable, that support this. But it doesn't matter because you can take it and put it onto Ethereum because it's all backed and secured on Ethereum already. All you have to do is just withdraw it to Ethereum and you're good. So when you do anything on the layer 2, there's no fees. It's immediately, you know, it's free, it's immediate, and it's fast. And so what you'll find is Gods Unchained, which is the card game. It's like a board game. It's like Magic the Gathering. If you go look at a marketplace like Immutable or on Mintable, you'll see that, you know, every 2 seconds someone's buying a 5-cent card. Like look at the price of these. 0.000. No one's going to buy that on Ethereum because, you know, you're going to pay $50 to buy this, you know, 20
that's
card.
ridiculous. Right.
Exactly. But on Immutable X, people will buy hundreds of them because they pay, you know, $50 to put up $100 on their Immutable X account. And then that $100 lets them buy 500 cards.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's totally worth it. And so in the case of Battlestar, you don't need to do anything up front. There's no cost up front other than to mint the first ship or to get your first ship with tokens. Other than that, everything else is free until you want to withdraw either the ships or your tokens.
Gotcha.
So you come in, you'll pay. It's actually, by the way, to mint, if you've ever minted an NFT project, it's expensive. It's about, you know, maybe $50 to $100, right?
Yeah, if not more.
With us, it's $5. So it's only $5 gas fee to mint, which is really awesome.
Yeah, man, that's great. So 0.04 plus $5.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you mint 25, it's still $5 because.
Oh my God.
Like I said, I've been in the space for a very long time as a smart contract developer. I'm very focused on reducing gas costs. This is what it looks like when someone knows what they're doing.
So, this is awesome, dude. Thank you very much for explaining that in a very short couple of sentences, because, you know, even I have trouble realizing, you know, what the difference is. And now I can understand why layer 2. I guess as an overall thought process, is it because layer 2 is sitting on top of the layer 1 and it's finding the best times to mint everything and holding on to the information until you're ready to mint, you know what I mean? Until you find the best gas price, or on
kind of, you know, when a bank has, you know, when you write a check, a bank actually has like some really ancient like clearing system that it uses where it takes like 3 days or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you use like the app of your bank, you can scan your check and then it like immediately clears for your bank. But in reality, on the back end, it takes like 3 days of processing all this paperwork bullshit. So it's like that, where what's going on is the layer 2 is the bank who just says, hey, you know what, we're just going to credit your account now, knowing that this is all verified later, and we'll trust you, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of like that system for layer 2, where the layer 2 does a, you can think of it as like a fake transaction, where it like mimics the transaction on Ethereum. And then it says, okay, we'll mimic this now for you. And then in the next 3 days or whatever, we'll process it and you'll be good, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, where it defers it. In the case of Immutable X, it packages every transaction together in this mathematical formula and then puts that on Ethereum. And then you can use math to verify, you know, everything was legit.
Some people, from what I understand, like some projects like, you know, like CryptoPunks and chain runners, they were on block, right? And so it was better, right? Everybody was freaking out. They're like, oh, your NFT is actually on the block. It's not through a layer 2. But that's not going to be the case forever. We can't keep going layer 1. We have to have layer 2s, right?
Well, the reason that chain runners and Larva Labs are on the blockchain is not because of layer 2 or layer 1, but because their artwork is on the smart contract. So what that means is that even if chain runners as a company were to disappear, the artwork of the NFT is still going to exist for hundreds of years because it's on the blockchain. So with a layer 2, it's still on the blockchain. Everything is still on the blockchain. So there's no trade-off in terms of that. There's no lack of authenticity or something like that. But instead, the most projects do not have artwork on the blockchain. We do not have our artwork on the blockchain for Battlestar. And the reason is because when you battle, we need to update things. We need to update if you upgrade your ship, or if your ship is destroyed in combat, or if you've repaired your ship and your strength level has dropped 10%.
Yeah.
And if it's on the blockchain, well, it would be really expensive. You'd have to pay a gas fee to update that. There'd be trust issues, and so you can imagine you'd be spending $100 every second basically to interact with the game. So that's just not really feasible, right? We can't ask people to do that. Now, for Larva Labs, CryptoPunks, they're not really on the chain. They are now, but when they started, they weren't. It was just a hash and an image. But they've got a very
for anybody who doesn't know, this is what CryptoPunks looks like. Yeah, like if you don't, if you're in this space watching my video, you better know what CryptoPunks is. So.
Yeah, I think everyone knows what they are. It's look at that. They have a large following because of the floor price has gone down a little bit.
Yeah,
I just bought a punk a few weeks ago. Actually,
good for you, dude. Awesome. But screw the punks, Battlestar all day. That's what we're. Hey, listen. You finish your thought there. You said the CryptoPunks and Larva Labs, and then you stopped.
Oh, well, I mean, I was just going to go on a little bit just about the utility of them, but
yeah. I mean, there isn't really utility, right? I mean,
right. There's not too much. I mean, we've kind of covered up a little bit. I don't want to take too much of the time.
Sure.
So I think, look, stay tuned for Battlestar. We'll come out on the 14th of January, or maybe a little bit later if we need to delay it, just to make sure that everything is smooth launching. And we're not going to be a fake hyped up project. There's not going to be no celebrity kind of endorsements that are scams or rug pulls. Our product's going to speak for itself. When we go live, you can choose. You can look at our smart contracts. You can see if you want to interact with them. You can look at the game. You can say, hey, this looks pretty cool. I want to play it. Or you can say that you don't want to. And ultimately the people that play it early on are going to reap the most benefits, right?
Sure.
So I think the community is going to be quite excited once this goes live, and there's going to be quite a large community around it.
Nearly 3,500 troopers. You got 1,500 ancient captains. You're on Immutable X. The date you said it. These are what the fighters look like. Still some whitelist availability, so everybody can still go in and get some whitelist availability, which is great. Make sure to click the official link page. Discord, they're not really going to DM you, so you got to make sure you're on the right spot. Twitter, website, and some whitelist information. So I'll put this link in the description so everybody has it. But man, this has been great. I really, really appreciate your time. This has been an eye-opening experience. I love talking to projects and getting getting it understood, what your thought process is on building it, where you want it to go, and ultimately what kind of game it is and what can we expect. So this is great. Thank you so much, Cap. Appreciate it. I'll call you Cap forever now.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it, guys. And join the Federation, captains. It's now in your seat, right? You can join and battle and earn yourself a living to the galaxy. So
great.
Thank you, Joe.
Man. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. See you later.
You guys have a good one. Bye.
Yep. Bye-bye.